Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Today we've got a Samsung Galaxy S10 Lite. A very weird handset, I have to admit, which was just recently released. Now, the back of the phone is made of plastic, which looks like glass. Samsung calls it glass stick. Not very premium, feels a bit tacky and obviously plasticky, but looks really well from the distance. We also have 3 camera lenses on the back. We've got the 48 megapixel unit, the 12 and the 5 macro. So 48 megapixel with f-stop 2.0, 12 megapixel with f-stop 2.2 and 5 megapixel macro with an f-stop of 2.4. There's not much happening on the back or on the bottom. There's no headphone jack. There is a Type-C port and one single mono speaker on the bottom. And then that's pretty much it. On the front, we've got a 32 megapixel camera with an f-stop of 2.2. The SIM tray itself is a single slot. Well, no, sorry. It's either double SIM slot or SIM card plus memory card. So unfortunately, a hybrid type. So either 2 SIM cards or 1 SIM card and a memory card. I have to admit that the phone is quite huge. For the name Lite, it's actually very similar in size to the Note 10. Which was a bit of a surprise to me, but it is actually 6.7 inch the display, so yeah, I shouldn't be that surprised. But still, I don't know, I felt like Lite will be slightly smaller, maybe something of an S10e size, but yes, it is basically a Note 10 Plus size. As you can see, it's just a bit narrower on the sides, so easier to handle. So the phone itself, let's have a look. It probably runs on Android 10. Yes, I'm right, and it's One UI, Samsung One UI version 2.0. So let's have a look at the phone itself. We've got 128 gigabytes of storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM. So pretty decent. Obviously, as you've seen, you can expand that via memory card. When it comes to advanced features, we've got the Bixby routines, which trigger when specific scenarios happen. So, for example, you wake up and the Wi-Fi is turned on, or you get home and the Wi-Fi again goes on, the mobile data goes off, let's say the phone goes into mute, and so on, so on. Then, to be honest, the phone isn't the easiest one to operate with one hand, so it's good to see that the one-handed mode is there. Obviously, you have to swipe from between the home button and the back button. Which is kind of weird, as you've probably seen in the A51 review, but at least it's there. Alternatively, you can tap the home button twice and it also goes into one-handed mode, but then you can't use gestures to navigate with the phone, which I'll show you in a second. And then there are the usual Samsung gimmicks like the Smart Stay and stuff like that. Dual Messenger, for example, if you want to have 2 messenger apps on one phone. And yes, when you want to navigate the phone, you can use the Google Pixel style with only one button at the very bottom to navigate the phone with gestures. So for example, very similar to iPhone as well, so you can like swipe up and so on, and it kind of goes into multitasking. I just prefer the old school 3 buttons, but maybe that's because I've been using Android phones since 2007, even though my main phone is an iPhone. So let's have a look then. Always on display, yes, we are in here as well. Obviously you can adjust it to your liking. It isn't full AMOLED display, kind of full HD plus, which is a bit of a disappointment considering the screen size, which is 6.7 inch. And obviously you've got the Snapdragon 855, so one of the fastest processor from last year, so it could definitely push some more pixels, but then that would probably take some sales from the S10 Plus, which was running on Exynos here in UK. This is a UK model. And obviously it had a high resolution screen at 1440 by 3040. This one is only 1080 by 2400, so kind of full HD plus. It's still an AMOLED display, so colors are obviously a bit more saturated than on LCD, and the black color is a bit deeper than on LCD panels. So yeah, that's that. Full screen apps if you'd like to use that. So tries and stretch the app across the whole thing. Then we've got the Edge Sense which allows us to use an Edge without having an Edge display, well, Edge screen, not Edge Sense. Obviously there are a couple of drawers if you want to use that. I would like to see a headphone jack on the phone. I'm not really sure why is it not there, as Sony has proved with a Sony Xperia 1 Mark II that you can put a headphone jack back into the phone, especially that when it comes to sound quality and effects, Dolby Atmos only works with headphones. It doesn't work with the one bottom firing speaker, so a bit of a disappointment in here, but at least it works with wireless headphones as well. So that's that. Let's have a look. Adapt sound, you can change that if you'd like to, so it kind of adapts to your age. Scary territory, Samsung, but yep. And then we obviously got the connections. We've got the NFC, so we can use the Google Pay or Samsung Pay if you'd like to, and MirrorLink and Tethering and so on. When it comes to pre-installed apps, not much going on in here. There is no music player. You have to use YouTube Music to play tunes from your phone. Obviously you can download a third-party app, but pre-installed there is nothing there. When it comes to Samsung standard apps, you've got the standard smart things to connect to your telly, the Samsung Health, and so on, so on. And now let's go into the camera itself. So we've got the just standard snapper, which is like wide angle lens and then ultra wide. There is no telephoto lens. I did take some pictures with zoom, but it's obviously just a digital zoom, so you'll see at the very end of the video. The Pro mode, unfortunately, isn't as advanced as in the S20, which I reviewed recently, and there is no Video Pro mode either, which is a bit of a bummer, in my opinion, because it does a pretty decent job and you don't have to download Filmic Pro, but unfortunately it's not here. Live focus blurs the background, and live focus video blurs the background while you record the video. Again, samples at the very end of this video. When it comes to the actual camera settings themselves, we've got the scene optimizer and scene suggestions, which kind of suggests what you are looking at. So if you're looking at a bowl of food, it will try and enhance colors. Landscape, again, same thing. So that's that. When it comes to recording video, we can record the video in up to 4K at 30 frames per second. Again, Snapdragon 855 is definitely capable of more than that. But yeah, it is what it is. Now the phone itself is actually quite snappy as well. I know I'm in the camera mode, but to be honest, that Snapdragon 855 coupled with 6 GB of RAM does a really good job, especially when it comes to, let's say, battery life as well. It does a really good job with a battery life. I do easily get two days. I think when I've watched a video, what was it, Fantastic Four, it lasted for like 15-16 hours. It was Fantastic Four, and I think I've binge watched The Stranger on Netflix. So yeah, battery life is brilliant with the 45 milliampere hour battery. Right, let's have a listen to the actual speaker. So thank you for watching another episode of Quick Expert Reviews. Hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll speak to you soon, guys. Bye! This is with the big circle option. So it kind of looks alright, but yeah, you can see it's artificial as well. So yeah, not the best quality. This kind of looks alright. But then again, yeah, if you move your hand, you can see that there's still some detection issues.